Hello guys, I am Dr. Sylvia Yanso and this is my new YouTube channel. There's a first time for everything, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm gonna get started because I do have some things to tell you guys. So I am actually rounding up my trip to Nigeria for this summer of 2022. And it's just, it's just been a whole lot really going through my mind. And, the whole thing was a very significant experience for our family. But I do want to talk to you about something in particular. And that's why I'm actually opening up this channel. Okay? So welcome to everyone who is watching me today. And I hope that you find this really interesting as I do, okay? So anyway, this summer, came back home, came back with my kids. Actually, they came before I was able to come back, so they actually were able to spend 6 weeks, okay? I had some, work to do, finish up, so I came back a little bit, a couple of weeks later, and I have been here for about 4 weeks now, and just about to go back to the U.S., okay? But for today, just wanted to talk to you guys about the, land opportunities here, and also just in general, my thoughts, okay, about Igbo land. So, I'm originally from, Igbo land. Right now I'm in Owerri, okay? So I'm originally from this land, actually, okay? Now, Nigerian American, but no matter what, you still have this, strong connection to home. And a lot of us here, we go out, and even when we come back home, come back to Nigeria, we purchase land in Lagos or Abuja. Those places are probably seen as more desirable. And frankly, even those of us who live in Nigeria, a lot of times they want to live, somewhere else other than Igbo land. And so, just really something that we need to, think about and kind of talk more about. So a lot of us can actually attest that growing up here, where we actually had a lot of fun. We had some fun memories in Owerri. And the truth is, when you come back to Nigeria, there is nothing like being close to home. You can spend the time everywhere you want to, but when you come back to the East, you really do feel just a different feeling because you are closer to home, your actual, soil. So it'll be great, in my opinion, to have and own some land in the East, okay? Right now I'm speaking specifically about Owerri, okay? But there is a challenge that I also noticed, and I'm gonna talk about that. So in Nigeria, in general, I'm not gonna blame this on just Owerri, okay? But what I've seen, because we spent some time in Lagos, what I've seen is that the places, the town, the neighborhoods, they're not very well planned. I mean, you would see some really well planned neighborhoods, but then in Lagos and also here as well, you see some really well planned estates, but then surrounding those are just, people just build their houses wherever they want to. They can put 2-3 houses in one little space. Nobody has any space for greenery. It's almost like having some greenery around you, like I said, green, natural vegetation. It's almost like having that is a nuisance because really, not almost, but they somehow feel like they have to put the biggest house they possibly can in a really, that's, plot of land that they have because they want to make money from it, and or they just the building, the brick and mortar is much more valuable than having some land, some actual natural land around you. And then, people just build whatever they want to build, to be honest. A lot of places, of course, you see little shacks that will, also be erected right next to a really, nice place. I can't really fault, people for doing whatever they can, to sell things and try to make it however they can. Of course, we see a lot of trash on the road. I mean, it's just crazy, honestly. And like I said, I'm not blaming this all on Owerri. I saw them in Lagos as well, okay? So, to me, after seeing all of that, and then you compare that to what they're actually charging you to buy a plot of land in Owerri, right? I just can't pay it. Even if I feel like even if I had the money to pay 30 million, which is what they are charging, some of these places, that are inside Owerri, and more actually. Don't be surprised. Like, I've seen more. Some land in New Owerri, they're charging 40, 50, 60 million per plot, okay? And it's just dirt, plot, plot of land. So I just don't see paying that. I can't, to me, I just feel like the surrounding is also part of what you're buying, okay? And when I say surrounding, I don't just mean that little estate where you're in. I mean the greater surrounding. That's what we're used to in the United States. We're used to having good infrastructure, but that also includes good road out, not just the little place where you're in, but just the whole environment, everything being sane, right? But you still drive out of some of these places and you see a huge pile of trash, not even a mile, a block, from where you just came out of. So it's a problem, for me. It kind of messes with my senses a bit. So I just don't see being able to pay, huge sums of money for a plot of land in a general location that's just not well planned, okay? I feel like it serves as a deterrence for people, like us in the diaspora who want to buy land in Nigeria. If you want to live close to the cities and towns, then you have to be willing to pay this much money just to buy a small plot of land to build on. I mean, you haven't even started building the land, you're paying that much, okay? And so that's just not reasonable for me. And I feel like that stops a whole lot of people from doing that. Even though they want to come back and buy land and have a strong connection home, it's just way too many things that stand in the way of being able to do that, okay? And so what I did, and what I'm thinking, is that there's a way to sort of bridge the gap between us, who are in the States or, anywhere else in the diaspora, quite frankly, and then here. And also, still be able to buy some land, near Owerri, not inside Owerri, but near Owerri, and be able to, know what you're actually getting. I'm thinking about having a planned, neighborhood. And so like a planned estate, right? But in this particular case, not just a planned estate, I do want to add something extra to it, okay? I want to make it more like a natural estate that is sort of off-grid, where everyone needs to have a garden, because you do need to have that natural vegetation. If you don't incorporate that, really, honestly, I feel like that takes away a lot from us. So everyone needs to have a garden. Of course, I want to have a place. My vision is to, if we can get a place where everyone has to, there's like a central place for, avenue to get water from the ground, and then everybody uses solar, and then electricity, of course, will just be, really optional. But the thing is to kind of have an off-grid environment where it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg just to buy a plot of land to build on. And it's still about a half hour from Owerri, and the neighborhood will be planned. And so I'm going to stop right here. I want you guys to sort of think about this, see if it resonates with you. And if it does, the idea is to kind of show some interest, because I do have some, if enough people show interest, then I definitely want to put the plan into place to start working on such an establishment, such a place, so that we can actually be more people. I feel like it'll be really good for people who want to have a connection but just can't, and also really good for people who, feel like there's no one to trust really to go buy a reasonable place for them in Igbo land, because you send your money, you don't even know who you're sending money to, you don't know if it's real or not real. At least I've been here now, and I spent a good enough amount of time to know what I'm doing. And the truth is, I also just purchased, 20 plus of land, and I would like to expand that for myself. Really, I did, because I do want to build. I'll talk about that later. But I did just purchase 20 plus of land, and there is an option for me to make that a much bigger purchase if more people are interested. And if more people are interested, then we can actually try to make it into a nice neighborhood. Okay? So, thank you so much for watching, and look out for more details. Okay?